it will prompt me, it isn't live yet, it will prompt me to go, oh, you're doing really well, you're not spending as much on coffee, would you like us to hide that money away for you towards your target of shoes, or whatever it is, £100 for shoes. And that's how it does it. So I signed up for this, it hasn't gone live yet because they're still in development. But the clever thing here is, so again, I had to share this with my friends. And I get this email, so I thank you for signing up. There are currently 2,500 people before you in the queue to get this product. Oh, well, I'm not very happy about that. It's like, I just signed up for this. What do you mean I'm 2,500 people down it? Well, if you want to move yourself up the list, you share. So again, it's the same principle that I'm in their CRM database, they know what I'm doing on Facebook, they've linked it, and they're rewarding me. I can't even buy anything from them yet, they're rewarding me for my social media activity. So again, it's CRM, but looking at it through a different lens. And then the third thing I think we take from all of this is I think there are possibly new opportunities for data capture through all of this. There was a piece in The Guardian in the UK a couple of weeks ago saying how retail stores who typically have no CRM data on their customers, you go in, you buy a shirt, no idea who you are. Okay, supermarkets have got their loyalty cards and that's how they're building up the data, but retail other than supermarkets don't have a clue who anybody is. And yet people are now starting to buy online, so they've got a picture of the online activity but they've no idea what these people are doing in the store and if they're ever going into a store. So what they're doing is they've started asking customers in the store if they'd like their receipt emailed to them. It's really simple. Would you like us to email you your receipt? Email address, match it up with the purchasing online. I mean, there's all kinds of problems in that people use different email addresses, but you know, it's certainly more data than they've ever had. So they match it up with the online activity. They start to build that single view of the customer. Oh, that's interesting. This person goes in and they buy, you know, this sort of thing in store, but they buy this sort of thing online. What's that all about? And then they can start tailoring their communications to it. And the interesting thing about this is there's one department store in the UK started doing this a couple of years ago through their app, and it's on my phone. And the brilliant thing is there is a win in it for the customer because I'm never going to lose a receipt again. So I have this little wallet app because I buy loads from this particular shop, and all my purchases are in there with the kind of barcodes and everything in. So if I want to take something back, I don't have to rifle through all my drawers to find the paper receipt. I've got it on my phone. I just go, there you go, and they deal with it all. It's all in one place. So there's a win for the customer. There's absolutely a win for the company because they're getting that data, and everybody's happy. So I suppose what I'm encouraging you to do is think about, I mean, that's very low tech and old tech actually, email, isn't it now? Oh, would you like us to email you your receipt? But it's that simple thing that's giving them that complete picture. So I suppose it's about thinking, what could we do differently if we haven't got the data or we're struggling to get that data capture, what could we do to get it in a different way? So that's just one example of that. So I think what we'll do is maybe take some questions now and then have a short comfort break and then come back and do some exercises. Is that okay?
The comfort break will also include food.
Brilliant. I forgot you all have lunch in the middle of the morning in Norway. So any kind of questions or thoughts on that at the moment? There's an awful lot to take in, I know.
Do you have any thoughts on the amount of data to collect from each person? For example, for a sign-up, should you just start by collecting the email, or should you ask for gender, postcode, blah, blah, blah?
Well, it depends what you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
Certainly, I'm a big advocate of saying don't capture any bit of data that you're not then going to use in some way, because it just annoys customers if you're going on inside leg measurement and all that stuff. Not necessary. The most important things are some way of communicating with them. So that could be their mobile phone number or their email address, and critically the permission to talk to them through that method. And secondly, the purchase information, so that you have a way to contact them and a way to know how valuable they are to you. Those are the two key things. In the UK, we always try and capture postcode, zip code, because we have a lot of tools at our disposal for using that postcode to profile people, to work out what kind of income they have based on their postcode. I don't know if that's something that you use in Norway. We have Mosaic in the UK. I don't know if any of you use that. But it's because the UK is so densely populated, each postcode only has about 30 houses in it, and it's quite an accurate way, once you layer these things on top, of working out what your customers are like. So we do that, but because we have a very good reason for doing it. And also we're lucky in the UK in that if you pay for anything by credit card, you have to put in that information, so it's easy to capture that. But I think you need to think about how you want to communicate with customers, how they might be happy to be communicated with. Text, is text a good way for you, for them, in which case the mobile phone number might be enough? Is email good? You may decide their Twitter handle is more important, I don't know. And it is a fine balance between getting enough that's useful to you without annoying the customer. Obviously in an ideal world you want as much as possible, but the Gap way of doing it is quite interesting. They simply get your email address and then they email you and say, you customise your preferences, you tell us how you want to be communicated with, and that seems to work quite well for them. So it just all depends, really. Have you had any experience of that?
We just have some discussions sometimes, because in an ideal world you would like as much as data as possible, but then again it might be difficult to have people signing up. It's a barrier.
Yeah.
So where does that?
I know.
When does it tip?
And I think that depends on each business, and some trial and error. I had one theatre who we tried it 2 different ways, and we did a month of it one way and then a month of it another way, and we measured the permission rates and the sign-up rates, and one was dramatically better than the other in their case, and asking the questions in a slightly different way. And because one was so much better, we tested it, and we kind of went, okay, we'll do that then. And it's a bit like the Mac with their data promise. We tried it first, and we saw such an amazing improvement. We're like, right, we'll stick with that. But if it hadn't have worked, we'd have had to try something else. So a lot of it will be just trial and error and measuring.
I have one experience to share, not from our business, but we had a company, not a loose member, but another organization we work with, that said that we're gonna try. We do send an email to all our members at some point, and we do it by regular email, but we're gonna start using MailChimp as an automatic email system, because they've learned from us that could be a good way of sending out emails systematically. But then after a half a year or something, I asked how's it going, and they said no, we stopped doing it. We went back to the old-fashioned email again, and I asked why, and the ladies in charge said, because I saw there were so few people opening the email, so I felt more comfortable.
Because you didn't know before.
So that could also be something if you don't do email marketing or send out emails to any of your clients now, and you discover that actually how few people are opening the email, don't be distressed or depressed, because that would be the case. And I'm thinking the strategy that maybe chose was a bit the head down the sand. I just don't want to know how many people are reading my email.
Yeah.
But that's also, you get very accurate data on who's opening and so on. And I looked on Bodil here when we talked, because the MailChimp system actually has the ability to send data back if you have a CRM system who's clicked and open.
Yes, back
We
in-
did that on some emails, and I got really depressed because it was no click, no click,
Yeah.
no click. And I said, remove that. I don't want to see it. So I
Yeah.
felt a little bit like that way.
It's horrible.
So,
But
but you told me,
I
I
think-
said, well, we need to get that back on again.
Yeah.
It's very important to see who actually clicked.
But the interesting thing there is not the absolute values. You know, it's depressing if you go, oh, 10% of people open this email. The thing that's interesting to me then is, okay, so if 10% is our average, what happened on this one with 30%? Why was that one so much higher? And I think MailChimp has something called A/B testing in it.
Yeah.
Would that be right? So the idea of A/B testing, that you can send a small proportion, say 10% of the list, to different emails, and then very quickly see which one of them is getting the better open rates or click-through rates, and then switch the rest of the campaign over to the one that's better. So there's all sorts of ways of testing. And what we've tried with lots of arts organisations is just the title, changing the title can make a massive difference in the open rates and the click-through rates. So it's hard when you see those figures, but I still think it's better to know. and as I say, to find the ones where nobody opened it. What happened there? You know, did it actually get delivered, or was there a problem? And the ones that have the high open rates, what was different about those? And the click-through rates, what was different? Was it video content? Was it more images? Was it more image-led and less text? What was it? And I think in the A/B testing, my advice would be is not to change too many things between them. So you might, to start off going, okay, we're going to do one very text-led, one very image-led. So that's what we're testing. And we do that. Oh, the images work better. Okay, so now we know images work better with that audience. So now we're going to test something else. So if you change them dramatically, you've no idea what it was that made one better than the other. So it's just testing and refining all the time, but it can be a bit disheartening. Okay, should we have a quick break?
Break time. Ja, vi har noen sånn bagetter og litt sånn utenfor her, tror jeg nå, hvis det er noen løper raskt ut og skjerper eller noe. Så tenker vi tar pause. How long do you think break? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Until 12?
Yeah.
Ish. Is that okay? Ja, så kaffe, te og så noen bagetter. Og så det for de av dere som kjente at det passer ikke for min diett nå, så det kaffe eller hva det heter. Ja, pause. Og så vi lover å snakke om hva før vi på nå, så hvis man kjente skjønte ikke det, eller vil diskutere når vi tar på nå, så gjør vi det altså nå i pausen.